Hello, everybody. We are back with another builder session. Today, we're with 0xBridge, and they're building an EBTC, a fully decentralized and non custodial version of Bitcoin designed for programmable blockchains like CoreDAO, Ethereum, BNB, Solana. Their purpose is to solve a critical question in the Bitcoin ecosystem: where is your Bitcoin? Very, very important question. By enabling seamless, secure, and trustless movement of Bitcoin across chains. Now, if you guys don't know what the builder sessions are, we basically sit down with someone who's building on Core. We do a run through of what the project is, and then they do a live coding session after. So I'm Dylan. I'm a contributor to Core. And Satyam, you want to give a little intro to the people?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Dylan. Hey, peeps, I'm Satyam, building 0xBridge. What it's about, uh, like, first let me introduce myself, then maybe go for the product itself. So I've been in the industry from almost like 9 years, building a lot of different products. Uh, that includes the RWA, security tokenization, DeFi, L1, L2s, and now been into this Bitcoin ecosystem from last, like observing from last 8 years and being active from last 1.5 years. I thought like there's a clear demand of building something which allows users to move their BTC in a transparent, trustless fashion to from the Bitcoin to any other chains that will give them more exposure for their BTCs and allow them to do multiple DeFi stuff. That includes treasury management, that includes lending, borrowing, that includes like like putting the asset into trade fights. So there is a lot of possibilities can happen through the Bitcoin that they aren't able to do it with the advent of the different L2s like CodeDAO and whatnot. This seems possible as creating because CodeDAO is creating this whole BTC-Fi ecosystem, and that's why we also want to launch this EBTC, this extended Bitcoin and native Bitcoin, over to the CodeDAO to leverage the existing community as well as give them this powerhouse tool, this EBTC, to the CodeDAO community, so they can use it extensively and make it a larger ecosystem out of it. That's me. That's just a very brief about the product, how it originates, and why we are here for the CodeDAO.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect fit for Core because literally the whole point of Core DAO is to scale and unlock new Bitcoin use cases. And that's literally what you're doing as well with 0xBridge. So I know all the Core Toshis, myself included, are very excited about this actually coming to market. So I know you have like a PowerPoint presentation where you're going to go through all the different parts of 0xBridge. So do you want to share that now?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, perfect.
Uh,
All right,
cool.
let's
So
get into it.
hopefully my screen is visible.
No, this is good.
So okay, cool. So let's talk about the problem statement. I covered a very brief in the introduction itself. Uh, Now we are going to cover it in extensive fashion where we know that Bitcoin has a limited programmability uh, because of its obvious natures, how it's being programmed, and all this with the advent of the different Bitcoin altitudes, the DeFi is getting fragmented from one chain to another. CodeDAO is the biggest one, but still there are some other activities are happening here and there. So for as a user, how you can get maximum out of your BTC. So it isn't possible right now, or even if it is possible, it is very very complex. And whatever the current market solutions are, which provides an assets like these derivatives or synthetic assets for the BTC itself, either they are like centralized or trust minimized in a certain form itself. So what we are coming up with is to solve this problem statements, and here we are talking about the market opportunity. Like almost 90%, 95%, 98% of the BTC supply is untapped for uh, for moving the BTC from the Bitcoin chain to any other chain. That includes any Bitcoin L2s or the existing L1s like Solana, Telegram, like Ton, uh, and Aptos, Ethereum, and the other ones. So we want to tap into that particular untapped BTC and bring that BTC in a trustless format to those different chains like CoDAO and the other ones where there is a BTC-Fi ecosystem where they can extensively use the BTC. How we are doing it, the solution is, as we said, as I said, it is non-custodial, and there is an uncensored two-way Bitcoin movement solution. Uh, how we are able to achieve this because of the advent of technologies like shared economic securities. So in the Bitcoin ecosystem, we have Babylon and the other ones, which provides the economic security uh, as like as a tool or as a primitive that can be consumed by the decentralized operators and make and provide an economic security for the movement of the Bitcoin or any other thing uh, as a team we want. So we choose a solution because we want a decentralization as much as possible. So now let's move into the actual demo itself. This is a video. Don't want to do the video. Want to do the actual demo itself. So
The
here is
live
this
demo.
is
Here we go.
yeah. So it's deployed on CodeOut. We have the whole system. I'm going to talk about how it is working internally, but the idea of this demo is that we will bring the BTC from the Bitcoin testnet to the core testnet uh, that we have the EBTC itself. So that is the whole idea. And I'm going to start the demo. Going to connect the Unisat wallet. So if you can see, this is my wallet address. You can see what's the balance I have. I don't know whether you can see my Unisat wallet as or not, but you can verify that this much amount I hold in my Unisat wallet as well. Uh, and I want to move, let's say 0.001 uh, to, let's say, BTC. So it's one-to-one pegged, this extended Bitcoin. It gives you the dollar value. It asks you what is the address on which you want to put it. So let's say if I select it, it asked me to connect with the MetaMask. I got connected with the MetaMask. I have already core blockchain activated on or selected in the MetaMask itself, and this will tell you the address. Like this is the from address and this is the receiving address where I want my EBTC on the core testnet itself. It talks about what is the one-to-one peg ratio. It talks about the platform fee. Right now, the platform fee for the testnet is 10%. Uh, there are a couple of reasons why we have did it, but in production, it would be like 0.1%. And it also tells you the network cost, how much amount you will receive on the destination chain, what is the total BTC spent or the test BTC spent. Why we have done this 10% is, first of all, we don't want uh, the user to uh, like not specifically for the user itself, but it's more of a technological limitation within the BTC testnet ecosystem. If you provide a less amount of a fee or a UTXO movement, it become a dust and the transaction got failed. So that's why we make it 10% here, because it's very hard to get testnet BTCs. So we have to use it in a very uh, like very safe manner so we can reuse it as much as possible. So if you hit mint, it will ask for the transaction submission, and this is the tab. It opens. It tells you like how much the TBTC is moving, what is the network fee, what's the input, what are different outputs, and this is the PSBT data. And I'm gonna hit sign. Before that, I'm gonna move my screen here. So if I sign it, what it is doing, it is submitting a PSBT to the Bitcoin network, Bitcoin test network. And once it's been there, now there are different operators which are going to work and see the transaction happen over to the Bitcoin network. and these operators are managed by us right now over to the testnet. But on the production, these operators will be run by the like institutional entities who has the experience of running validators or the decentralized networks for the DVN or whatnot. So now, if I can see the transaction, these are two transactions I have done in the morning itself to save myself from the curse of the demo. So this is minting BTC. Here you can track what's happening behind it. As I said, we are waiting for the transaction execution. Here is the unconfirmed transaction in the mempool. We can see this is a transaction. The ETA is almost 10 minutes. So in this 10 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about a lot of different variety of the things what we are doing behind this. So the flow look like this, where there's a fee movement happening here. This is an output where the actual fund movement happening from the user's wallet to this particular wallet. This particular wallet is also specifically created for the user. What it means, like this is a spatial wallet called used for the locking of the BTC that user provided within this wallet. And this wallet is a P2TR wallet. It has the different redemption scripts and the different paths. Uh, and it is happening in a non-custodial way. Why we are saying it? Because one of the key to unlock this particular asset is the user's key itself. And the second key is belongs to the network of operators that is further divided by a threshold cryptography. We will talk about it more and more later down the demo. This is and this is the output 3 that is coming back to me as a written value or as a fee refund. And this is an OP metadata where the where we are telling the Bitcoin ecosystem or the Bitcoin chain that, or it consists the metadata which allows us to know in a decentralized fashion that where this asset needs to be moved, like what is the chain ID that it needs to be moved, what is the address, the destination address, what's the amount and whatnot. So all these details are available for the user in a decentralized fashion or a trustless fashion. So here are the details. This is the OP written data, and we are gonna do the actual decoding of it as well. So uh, this is the actual transaction data. I'm just gonna copy paste it, so and put it in one of the smart contract that we have deployed already onto the code out chain. But for the easiest understanding, I put it in a remix and gonna show you the actual decoded value uh, that we have provided here, and how it get to the Bitcoin chain and moved and being listened by the code out chain, like our operators, and provided to the code out chain smart contracts. So this is a complex movement. So let me put the value here. So it gives you the data. So let me increase it a little bit. So this is the PSBT data I provided. You got the tuple value. This is the destination address. If you remember, this is the one 0xB790. That is the connected one. Let me, sorry. I think I shared another tab. Sorry. Here I provided the data, and this is the tuple data we got. This is the receiving end, the destination address, this much amount of the SATs value, like 1 to 000, and the other two values as well, like the chain ID and whatnot. So we are going to verify whether this data is accurate or not, what we have provided onto the actual site or the app itself. So it says 0xB79. Going back, uh, 0xB79, that's the same address that we have connected, and we asked for 0.00012 EBTC get minted. So, and here as well, we are saying thousand sats. So Bitcoin is 8 decimal. So if you remove 3 1, you get this number. It's because it's in a sats value. So that's how the actual metadata is being moved to the another chain. Here in our case, it's a code out chain. And moving back to once like during this execution itself, let's talk more about how this thing is happening. Uh, like on the tech level, it's a more deeper conversation on that. So this is a high level architect uh, for the actual Bitcoin movement. We have a taproot and PSBTs. We talk about the taproot like P2TR. Let me show you as well. I haven't showed to you. So if I go back to the mempool, uh, this is the address on which the funds are going. So yeah, this is the P2TR address has been created, and this shows like this much amount is pending to received on this particular address itself. So you hear beautiful noise, and this why? Because the transaction has been confirmed. Uh, you can see
Beautiful.
it
It caught
here.
me off guard. I was like,
So,
thought I left my volume on from a video game or something.
no. But this tells you like be aware now the transaction has been confirmed. So if you see the confirmed transaction, it shows we already got 3 confirmation and everything. It is there. And if you remember, I just showed you the Taproot wallet, uh, and now it has the confirmed balance of 0.0.12. But if you were seeing here, it was it's updated. But the last time we were seeing it was in a pending state. Now it's on the confirmed balance. So now it's under processing. Before that, I would just want to show uh, one more thing. Not here. Right now, if can you see my MetaMask wallet? Oh no,
No.
no. Okay, okay. So maybe that's a sharing problem. But let me show you other way around how we can verify whether the balance has been sent there or not. So let's talk about the steps. We wait for the one confirmation when the transaction execution happen onto the Bitcoin chain. We wait for the one block confirmation. It happens. Then it went for the processing by the decentralized operators that we have, which picks the transaction, verify it, and it's verify whether the transaction has the sufficient confirmation. For the testnet, we have one confirmation, but for the mainnet, we will have 6 confirmation. And they create another transaction over to the uh, code out chain, and the transaction will submit it to actually mint the EBTC. So if I open this Explorer, this is a layer 0 communication we are doing for the communication uh, from our home chain to the destination chain, like or the base chain. Here in our test scenario, right now the home chain is Polygon Amoy, and the destination chain or the base chain where the funds is actually needs to be moved is the core chain itself. So there are 3 chain right now that facilitate this movement. This Polygon Amoy is nothing but uh, where our couple of contracts are there to facilitate the movement. That's all. But more, the main thing is happening on the Bitcoin chain and the core chain itself. And I can show you the details. If I show you here on a destination transaction hash, you can see here this much amount of EBTC 0.00012 moved from a null address to this P79 that we talked about on the destination chain. And if I open this scanner, the transaction performed in a successful manner 2 minutes ago from this one to this address. But I think on the core, you cannot see the logs right now somehow in the scanner. But that's why you can verify that movement of the EBTC here itself. It is here. So that's a successful movement of the Bitcoin from the Bitcoin testnet to the core testnet in a decentralized fashion without any intermediaries and in a trustless fashion. So that's the demo of the product. Now you can see all my transaction is being confirmed and whatnot. Withdraw is coming soon. We are gonna soon avail our like make withdraw part is also available in a week or so. So would love you guys to try the whole app itself and love to get your feedbacks. Moving, sorry, I was sharing another screen. Uh, Moving further down the line, I want to show one more thing. Let's go back. So as I said, the Taproot address, Bitcoin chain, we have a Bitcoin Lite client in the process. Again, we have abstract away each and every complexity, whatever you are seeing here in our application. So you don't need to worry about anything. Like what are the Taproot stuff? What is the AVS? What is the coordination contract? What is the Bitcoin Lite client? You don't need to worry about anything. You just need to focus on here and you will get all things happening here for your movement itself. So you keep tracking of your Bitcoin, nothing to worry about. So that's how simple it is. So we have our AVS, we are taking the economic security from the EigenLayer, Bell, and the other couple of other ones. The how the peg-in flow means how the minting works. Uh, it's a complex part. I think I've already covered pieces in a different bits, so not gonna cover this. Similarly, the peg out flow works, but we haven't talked about the withdraw yet. But the code part of the withdraw is being ready. It's not been integrated on the app yet, but we are going to make it live soon. The another thing I want to show uh, is this is a video that talks about how EBTC is solving the major problem, and we are also introducing EBTC Connect, which allows you to move any kind of your BTC, whether it's core BTC or any version of the BTC, in a trustless fashion from one chain to another. So, as we all know, there's a lot of cool stuff or the BTC Fi happening onto the CoDAO, and you want to move your BTC from, let's say, some other chain, let's say BitLayer or maybe Merlin, like you name it, and there's not too much activity happening over there onto the BTC5 ecosystem, or you think that there is a certain protocol that is far giving better returns onto the CoDAO chain, but you want to move your, let's say, Merlin version of the Bitcoin from there to the CoDAO chain, how you can do it in a trustless fashion and in a cheaper manner. Here the EBTC Connect will resolve that problem. So just wanna like see how it's going to work.
Over 70 Bitcoin L2s, each with its own version of Bitcoin. But with this growth comes complexity, making Bitcoin movement more challenging than ever before. Introducing eBTC, the revolutionary one-to-one peg Bitcoin that brings true decentralization and non-custodial control. Let's say you're a user looking to move your WBTC from the Hemi blockchain to the core blockchain. Users will first lock their WBTC in an HTLC contract on the Hemi blockchain. Market makers will detect the transaction, settle it on the destination chain, and transfer core BTC to your account, deducting fees for their service. A complex dance involving multiple intermediaries, high fees, and precious time, and relies on market makers. Now watch how eBTC transforms this process. With just one simple on-chain transaction, you can swap your WBTC for eBTC using a stable pool. The 0xBridge's innovative eBTC Connect protocol burns the eBTC on the Hemi blockchain, creates an on-chain attestation within the same transaction, and relays it to the destination chain, core in this case. There, the same amount of eBTC is minted to maintain total supply. The newly minted eBTC is then swapped for core BTC in a single transaction through a stable pool. This process delivers Bitcoin to the destination chain faster, with lower fees, and without relying on centralized intermediaries. Using eBTC is incredibly simple. Just connect your wallet, select your Bitcoin version, and click swap. That's it. With eBTC, you get complete self-custody of your Bitcoin, seamless movement across any chain, lower fees through efficient liquidity pools, true decentralization without intermediaries. Join the revolution in Bitcoin movement with eBTC. Visit our website to learn more and get started today.
That was excellent. The video was great. You did a great job
Thank
explaining
you.
it.
Thank you. Yeah. That's all more on the that's all about the demo, the product itself. Uh, I'm open for any question. Otherwise, we can jump on the actual, like, how developer can use this particular product, because we are building the product itself, but we are also making this in an open system, so anybody can use it. They don't need to come on our dApp, like on our website, to do the like movement of the BTC. This particular product can be used by, let's say, uh, like a wallets like Fireblocks, or any other different kind of MPC based wallets or whatnot. If they want to integrate this particular movement of the BTC, they can, using RSDK. So just gonna run through this in a quickest fashion. So what you can do as a dev, you create you create a PSBT and ask user to sign it. So first process of doing anything, whether you want to do minting or withdrawal of your BTC, you have to create a PSBT, like partially signed Bitcoin transaction. So here, this is the process of creating an unsigned BTC, unsigned PSBT, where you provide the address, the locking address, that is like a taproot address that I talked about. There is also process of creating the taproot address. I think that's covered here, how it is being created. So you have, as I said initially, there are multiple unlocking paths or the redemption paths for the remove for the withdrawal of the BTC from the Bitcoin chain. So those paths are being created here using this function: create taproot script with multisig and time lock, create taproot output, and using this you will get the taproot address cumulatively, and use the taproot address here when you're creating an unsigned PSBT by using the function called create unsigned transaction under the class of the TX service. You provide all the required values, like the locking address, the locking amount, uh, what is the metadata, like receiver address, that falls under the OP meta return data, OP return values. What is the locked amount, the chain ID, the base token amount. Base token amount is a way, is like, let's say you're new to code chain and you don't have any funds on a code chain, like you don't have a core token to pay for the transaction fees and whatnot, but you want to move your token, your BTC from Merlin to core. So we also have a provision where we will convert a piece of your BTC into the core token on the fly. So you don't need to worry about that you got the core BTC onto your chain, onto the core chain, but you don't have the core or the gas token itself to do any transaction, or to put your core BTC on use or eBTC on use. So we also facilitate this conversion by using the base token amount. So once you created the unsigned transaction, you give the unsigned transaction to the user to sign it. They sign it and submit it. After the submission, like broadcasting, what would happen? You interact with the AVS, and for the interaction of the AVS itself, uh, we process the transaction. Like there's an endpoint, like there's a network of operators. Those are decentralized, but they provide an endpoint to provide the details, to get the details from the SDK itself. That called process transaction, and it means you're telling them, hey, network of operators, this transaction has been executed on the Bitcoin chain, or I have done this transaction, please process it. So you provide the details. It says what it does in the processing. It just create a task onto the another chain, uh, like that are a home chain, uh, and ask the operators. Now the task has been created, and ask the operators to actually uh, do the work for this particular task itself. It's more of a thing like, I give you a task to couple of people, and I ask them do their own job in silos and bring back the results, and we will see whether the results win the majority vote or not. If yes, then it means this thing actually happened on the counterparty chain, or the other side of the chain. So you call it, you got the response, how you're going to call it, like this process transaction. Now once you do it, you have to check the bridge status, like how you're making sure that the transaction what is being submitted onto the Bitcoin chain or the other ones, whether it's uh, executed or not. Again, there is a way to do it, like tsservice.get bridge status and whatnot. It gives you the layer zero transaction hash, because layer zero is more about doing the communication from one chain to another, uh, for for the early stages of the product. But moving down the line, we are not going to rely on the layer zero. We already have the network of operators of our own. So this work is also being done by the our network of operators, not the layer zero anymore. So it would make it us a lot flexible to deploy in multiple chains and support the movement of the EBTC in the seamless manner. So yeah, I think that's all from our side. We'll definitely make this particular SDK gonna public. Right now it's private, but gonna make it public in maybe a week or so. So you guys can try and give us your feedback. Happy to work with all the community members of the CodeDAO.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
just
think
just to recap, so there's EBTC, the decentralized Bitcoin version for programmable chains, and then there's EBTC Connect, which allows low cost transfers of EBTC across networks, and then there's C2 as well, right? The
yeah,
Bitcoin swaps across chains.
yeah. That's the Setu. I think you see the UX here of it. Let me just show it. Yeah, this UX belongs to the Setu itself, because EBTC Connect is just an infrastructure. Like, it does not give you any UI or whatnot. So Setu is the end product which uses the EBTC Connect and give you this particular UX.
Got you. So will EBTC just bridge over to different chains and then be burned and minted the new BTC on that chain? Or do you think it'll actually be used within the chains that you can borrow
It's
lend? Or is it more meant to just connect?
no, it's gonna do both things. So think of it uh, like how does the Circle USDC work? It is custodian, but what we are saying what we are building in a simple terms, like a decentralized circle for BTC. So if you have USDC, you can put the USDC on work, like on collateral, on lending and borrowing. You can do a lot of variety of things. But let's say you have to move your USDC from Ethereum to Solana, then they have their CCTP, the cross-chain transfer protocol, which allows you to move the USDC in a like a trustless fashion from Ethereum to Solana itself. So in a similar format, we have EBTC that you can use for DeFi, all those DeFi activities and whatnot. But now you move your eBTC from one chain to another, then we have eBTC Connect, again in a native fashion. And now you want to do what you want to go one step ahead, where you want to move a different version of the BTC to another chain and want to have another different version of the BTC. Given that our eBTC exists on both of those different chains, we can facilitate this movement by SETU. This is like a cross-chain bridge itself, which allows you to move your that A type of BTC and convert it into the B types of BTC, like an atomic swap, but in a trustless fashion. No need of market makers or intermediaries. It can do it like on chain itself using eBTC Connect in the eBTC itself. So that's how like
Okay.
three verticals is being divided.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So just making it super easy for people to bring their Bitcoin on chain and swap it in between chains and use it. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
No.
Let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin DeFi. So, I mean, clearly you believe in Bitcoin DeFi, but how do you think it plays out in the next couple of years? Do you think Bitcoin DeFi overtakes Ethereum DeFi? What's so special about Bitcoin DeFi compared to everything else? I don't know. What are your thoughts generally?
I'm gonna say for sure BTC DeFi is gonna take over the Ethereum DeFi or the any other DeFi existing, because the reason is everybody already holds BTC. All the big institution, all those TradeFi peeps already hold the BTC. They don't have a medium to do these like decentralized financial activities on their Bitcoin. And as I said, with the advent of these Bitcoin L2s like CoDAO or the products like us, which allows them to, in a trustless fashion, move their BTC into the eBTC and use it into a DeFi activity, we open up them to actually use this itself into those different activities. So into those different DeFi activities. So possibly in the near future, almost like in 8 to 1 year horizon, we will definitely like the whole volume or the whole TVL would be 5x at least from what we are right now. I think we are around, I think 8 to 10 billion. We can become more than like 50 to 60 billion or 80 billion for the BTC-Fi ecosystem itself. That covers like each and every other L2s or BTC-Fi as an ecosystem itself. So these are my core beliefs. Uh, yeah, happy to add on if you want to ask anything specific.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, what asset would you rather use, than Bitcoin? It's the perfect collateral asset. And I think a lot of people think that Bitcoiners don't want to use their Bitcoin or don't want to use in DeFi, but there simply hasn't been, the chains like Core or the products like 0xBridge to really make that a reality and actually make it easy for users and safe. So yeah, I think BTC-Fi is set to explode. I think the developers understand it. They seem to get it more than the retail users. So yeah, super excited.
So
I'm glad you think that too.
yeah, retail users are worried about that they may lose their BTC. They don't want to understand like this PSBT, this infrastructure or whatnot. What they want a simple application which allow them to do everything in a trustless fashion, or they can be assured that their BTC are safe. So I think CoDAO already make up one step in the direction by launching this kind of a chain and the ecosystem around it. And the another step that the CodeOut did is to bring the projects like us, who and enable us to build this kind of a technology, 0xBridge or eBTC, which will allow those retail users to use the BTC and convert those BTC into the eBTC uh, in a seamless manner. That's why we have this UI, like this particular dApp, where you just do the connection and make the movement. You don't need to worry about all the complexity that you may have on that is happening behind. maybe moving down the line, we're gonna make it much more easier as well. But let's see. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. You need the simple product for the user, them to be able to code anything. That's yeah. It's all about the user.
Yeah.
So just a little bit more. Why are you guys excited about Core? Why are you guys integrating Core? What are your thoughts on the different BTC chains where Core stands?
I think uh, if I want to select any chain, even right now, I would select Core to build on it for the BTC ecosystem. The reason is very simple. Like uh, there's no point of rethinking it. Those reasons are, first of all, the team itself. The core team is very, very helpful, and they are always available for the products, for doing like troubleshooting, for working with us as a devs. So they give the extended support. And the another thing is the community itself, because in the Web3 ecosystem, what makes the products larger than the life is its community itself. And CodeOut has that vibrant community and the vibrant ecosystem, which allows us to uh, integrate, which allows us to expand, which allows us to interact with the existing Bitcoin peoples that no other chain is providing right now. So I think these are the clear things. And again, on the tech side, code chain is super fast. Like, I don't need to talk about those things, people already know. But these are the two important things that I talked about, like the helpfulness and the community orientation is like exemplary for us to build this kind of a system. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Really glad to hear that. And then we do these cool live streams like this too, another part. But yeah, I'd say the core Toshis, the community, like they're crazy. One day they love me, one day they hate me, but they're always there, they're
Yeah.
always using
Yep.
core. So that's the best part. Any other final thoughts before we close off? I think we covered a lot of things. I don't know if anyone has any questions in the chat, but yeah, anything else you want to tell people? Maybe like when this will really be live to the people, mainnet. I know they're interested in that.
So probably in the next 1.5 month, it's gonna be live on the mainnet. We are gonna launch the public testnet after a week, where you can start coming in and start doing the testing itself. Again, it's gonna benefit the early users because they have a chance to become a part of the alpha mainnet release, and they can they will get incentivized for it, obviously. So that's an alpha that I'm giving up right now to all the core community. So please use it. Please use the 0xBridge DApp once it's available to the public or the community. We are gonna post it on Twitter in a week or so, the links and whatnot. So please try it and be a part of that alpha.
All right. Yeah, you guys heard that. You'll be incentivized to participate in that
Yeah.
test net coming
Yeah.
very soon. And then I'm glad the main net seems to be coming in less than 2 months. I hate when I have a project on and then they're like, "Oh, main net like 8 months." And it's like, "Oh man, I don't want to hear that." So I'm glad it's coming soon.
No.
All right, great. All right. What is is there any like GitHub docs you want to share, or I guess the 0xBridge Twitter we can share?
Yeah, well, yes, OXBase Twitter, we have the GitHub, but this GitHub has not been public yet, the SDK part. However, our smart contract repo is public. We can share that as well. Like, if I want to, let me give it to you. So this is public. How would I share it to you?
You can send in the chat in the bottom left if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I can head over here. Yeah, that's the link right there, guys. To see the smart contracts right now. But yeah, make sure to follow on Twitter. Follow 0xBridge on Twitter. And thank you very much for sitting with me and explaining all this and giving us the step-by-step dev tutorial and the PowerPoint and the video. The video was really awesome. That really helped me understand exactly what's going on. I really like that you guys are building with the user in mind, making the simple UI. I think that's something that gets skipped a lot in crypto and that we really need. So I think it's going to be huge, and I'm very excited to use it. I'll use the test net and the main net. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on here and explaining.
Thank you, Dylan, for having me here, and thanks for the whole CodeOut community as well for having us. See you soon.
All right. See you